respectfully acknowledge the tradition country across our nation. We also acknowledge and pay respect to Gabi Gabi, Jinibara, and Tuba traditional custodian and the elders past, present, and emerging. Welcome to the Australian Citizenship Ceremony to celebrate 2021 Harmony Week, hosted by Multicultural Queensland Social Network. For your information, the Harmony Day is on 21st of March 2021. My name is Lee. I'm your MC for the Harmony Citizenship Ceremony. For housekeeping, the ladies and gents toilet are outside the main hall. Just follow the sign. If there's a fire, please follow the nearest exit sign. If there is an emergency, gather at the designated assembly area, which is at the front of the building for further instruction. Appreciate if you can switch off your mobile phone and switch to a silent mode. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite Auntie Peggy Tiedemann, the Gungari elders, to do the acknowledgement of the country and the traditional honour. Auntie Peggy Tiedemann, please.
In my traditional language, Gungari language, that is hello and welcome. I must first of all begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land on which we are gathered. And I know that Lewis has also acknowledged the traditional owners. I also want to pay my respects to our elders both past, present, and emerging. And the third cultural protocol that I must observe at any event such as this is acknowledging sorry business. So I am a Gungari descendant. My people come from an area in southwest Queensland. We are the 6th group in Queensland to be recognised as native title holders. That means that we have been able to provide the Australian government with evidence that we know our culture. We still practice our culture. We have our traditional language. We still speak our traditional language, and it is taught in the school, at home. We know our traditional land. Our traditional lands are north of St. George, west of a place called Roma, east of Charleville, and north to Carnarvon Gorge. So if you've ever been to a place called Carnarvon Gorge, it's a very beautiful spiritual place. That is my traditional land. I was born on Gungari country, but I also must acknowledge my other cultural heritage. I have Chinese heritage on my grandfather's side, but I also have Afghani heritage on my mother's side. So I introduce myself to you that way so that you know who I am. I want to begin by acknowledging the dignitaries that are here today. I acknowledge you as well. And I also want to acknowledge the Queensland Multicultural Social Network, which I am a member of. So I have been working with people like Karl and others to bring our people together, to be able to have those conversations about what it is to be Australian. But I also want to acknowledge each and every one of you. There are other colleagues that are here that I want to personally acknowledge. So Surendra, Prasad. Surendra is the president of the Fijian Indian Association in Queensland, but he's my brother. I call him my brother because I have the utmost respect for him and the work that he does. But I've also got another brother, Lee. Lee is also my brother. I take them as my brothers because when we work with people or we come in contact with other people who share the same dreams and aspirations as I do, we actually take them on as our family members. But I also want to acknowledge all of our other special guests that are here with us today and you as recipients. You heard me come onto this land with the sound of the chapsticks. And these are very important. It's still a cultural ceremony that we perform. We are coming onto somebody else's land. We must let them know. We must let them know that we are here and that we are here to do business, but we are here as friends. We still practice that, but I think today we've also moved to that other thing they call mobile phone. So we also use technology that says we're going to be there. So I have great pleasure in joining all of you as you become new citizens of this country, because me standing here, I wasn't a citizen in this country even when I was born here. My parents weren't citizens when they were born here. We weren't recognised in the census until 1967. So up until 1967, the government counted the cattle and the sheep and the pigs, but they never counted us. So as I stand before you here today, there is a lot of history that needs to be shared, but it is about truth telling. It is about learning the other side of history. And being a citizen of this country, it is actually a privilege. It's not a right, because that can be taken away from you. So what I say to you is, as new Australian citizens, go with pride, treat it with respect. And yes, I join you in your celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Peggy Titleman, for your wonderful acknowledgement of the country and traditional honour. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite Surendra, Prasad, OAM, also the second rotating chair of the Multicultural Queensland Social Network. He's also the president of the Fijian Senior Citizen Association, also the chairman of the Australian of the Indian War Memorial Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, Surendra, Prasad.
Thank you, MC. Auntie Penny, I'm proud to be your brother. Thank you. My job today is to acknowledge all the distinguished guests here today. We have with us Honorable Luke Howarth, MP, the presiding officer for this citizenship ceremony authorized by Minister under the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. Lee OAM, as you all know him, the MC and volunteer organizer, this is his 45th multicultural ceremony he's doing today. And I call him Master of the Citizenship Ceremony. Master. 45, you see, it's a lot of effort and whatnot to do that. And also Fiji Senior Citizen Association of Queensland Incorporation, the co-host, Honorable Dr. Stephen Miles, MP, Deputy Premier of Queensland. Thank you. Chris Whiting, MP, State Member for Bancroft. Councillor Peter Flannery, Mayor of Moreton Bay Regional Council. Councillor Karl, Winchester, Division 6, Moreton Bay Regional Council. We have with us Wayne Briscoe. He is everywhere all the time. You see him everywhere. He is Executive Director, Multicultural Affairs, Department of Children, Youth, Justice, and Multicultural Affairs. Auntie Peggy Taliban, my sister, Gary Ella, is a very respectable person in our society. Agnes Whiten, AM, past chairman of Ethnic Community Council of Queensland. Peter Russ, I don't think he's here. Anyway. Dr. Ram Mohan, advisor, Federation of Indian Communities of Queensland. Very hard-working man. Ben Wu, President, Brisbane North Chinese Association. Alan Chang, President, Universal Education and Multicultural Exchange Association. We also have Richard Hong, President, Queensland Community Development Association. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to extend a warm welcome to all 50 conferees from 20 different countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Surendra, Prasad, OAM. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Honourable Lee Howarth, MP, the presiding officer for this citizenship ceremony. He's also the Assistant Minister for Youth and Employment Service and also the Federal Member for P3. The Honourable Lee Howarth will deliver his speech and deliver the message from the Honourable Alex Hawke, MP, the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship, Migration Services and Multicultural Affairs. The Honourable Lee Howarth, please.
I'm losing my flowers here, so I'll bring that back on. Firstly, thank you very much, Lewis. Thank you for that introduction. As Lewis said, my name is Luke Howarth, the Federal Member for P3 and Assistant Minister for Youth and Employment Services. Can I thank as well Auntie Peggy. Thank you very much for your acknowledgement of country. I was really good, really appreciated that, so thank you, Auntie Peggy. Also, Surendra Prasad, OAM, thank you for your kind words. To all the elected members here, to the Deputy Premier, the Mayor and Councillor for Division 6, great that you could join us today. And to everyone, all the special guests, thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to say to you all, just Australia is a wonderful country. It's such a wonderful country to live. I was born back in 1972 in Brisbane. Born here, my wife Louise was born here, and not far from here. And so I've grown up here, and I've always known Australia is a wonderful place to live. I've had the opportunity just to travel privately overseas, and one thing about going overseas, you enjoy it, but on the way home back to Australia, it's always great to be here. It's very much a blessed country. It's fantastic to be here. I think today as well, it's very much a multicultural country as well. And I think what Auntie Peggy had to say too, as an Indigenous Australian, but also with Afghani and Chinese background as well, just shows how multicultural we are today. And we are certainly the most multicultural and successful nation on earth when it comes to the amount of people that we welcome from around the world. And I and all elected members here and all the special guests are really privileged to be here with you all today as you become Australian citizens. Because our success going forward is very much dependent on you as well as new Australian citizens after you receive your citizenship today. So we're very pleased to be with you. I think the only other thing I'd say too is just make sure you get a chance to, Auntie Peggy's some 600 kilometres from here, she was talking about Carnarvon Gorge, and I was talking to Wayne, who was born down in Tassie. We have wonderful states and territories throughout Australia, so make sure you fly and holiday locally at the moment with COVID and so forth, but get in the car too and maybe do a driving holiday at some stage when you can. I'm now going to read a message from the Honourable Alex Hawke, MP, a colleague of mine, an Australian Government Minister. Alex is the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. His federal seat is down in Sydney, so he's not able to be here with us today, but he's asked me to read the following message to you. The message reads, today you become an Australian citizen. We are immensely proud of what we have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently with people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing and defending our national values. We believe in the freedom and dignity of each individual, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of association. We value the rule of law, democracy, and equality of opportunity for all people. We stand with other democracies in helping to defend and protect these hard-fought freedoms. We are a resilient nation. Drought, bushfires, floods, and a global pandemic have challenged our normal way of life. Our social cohesion, a key strength of Australia, has never, ever been more important. Upon taking the pledge of commitment today, I call on you to embrace these values and the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship, and play an active part in your local communities to build an even stronger nation. On behalf of the Australian Government, I congratulate you on reaching this very special day. Alex Hall, thank you very much.
Thank you, the Honourable Luke Howell. And I formally acknowledge Chris Whiteley, the MP, the member for Bancroft, also the chairman for State Development and Regional Industry Committee, also a temporary speaker for Queensland Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, another person we haven't acknowledged, I'm going to ask him to speak, is Karl Wu. Karl is the host today. He is the second general of the Multicultural Queensland Social Network. Please welcome Karl Wu, please.
Distinguished guests, conferees, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to host the Hungary Australian Citizenship Ceremony. 2021 Hungary Week, we can pause to reflect on the past year and recognize the resilience of our people and the courage and selflessness of those who work on the front lines, fighting the fires and floods and responding to a global pandemic. Australians can be proud of who we are as a nation. Our Australian values unite us and welcoming the migrants from across the world makes us stronger. Congratulations to all the conferees who will be the new Australian citizens. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Karl, the Secretary of the Multicultural Queensland Multicultural Social Network. Ladies and gentlemen, next person is a very popular guy. He used to be the Health Minister and Emergency Services. I used to know him through telly. Ladies and gentlemen, he is now the Deputy Premier of Queensland, also the Minister for State Development, Infrastructure and Local Planning and Local Government. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Stephen Mao MP, the Honourable.
Thank you so much, Lewis, for that kind introduction. I was once the Health Minister, and so thank you for reminding me of that. But you are definitely the master of the citizenship ceremony. So well done. Let me start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we're gathered on today, and thank Auntie Peggy for acknowledging the country. I think it speaks to the generosity of our First Nations people that they continue to welcome new folk to the land that they've been custodians of for tens of thousands of years. It's a great honour for me to be part of this citizenship ceremony, and it's wonderful to be able to do it here in the heart of our Moreton Bay community in North Lakes. And so thank you to the Multicultural Queensland Social Network for bringing this citizenship ceremony here for Harmony Week. I think it speaks to how important we see these ceremonies, that you have here with you representing the Prime Minister and the Commonwealth Government, Luke Howarth. Chris and I are here representing Anastasia Palaszczuk, the State Premier and the State Government, and Chris apologised, I think he was sent to Morayfield, so...
That's my fault.
And Mayor Peter Flannery and Councillor Winchester. You know, all of us over decades have seen this area grow and seen people moving here, lots of people moving here, but it's been really wonderful to see people moving from all over the world, and we're now home to people from, I think, around 100 different countries, more than 100 language groups and faiths, and all of those people have brought with them a little bit of their culture to share with us, and that's part of what makes our community so rich and diverse and such a wonderful place to live. So to the new citizens, welcome. Thank you for taking up Australian citizenship. For those of you, family and friends who might still be thinking about it, please do, and look forward to seeing you at one of our future citizenship ceremonies. Thanks so much for letting me share with you.
Thank you, the Honourable Dr. Stephen Mao, and the Deputy Premier of Queensland. Ladies and gentlemen, next person, we are going to invite the Mayor Peter Flannery from Moreton Bay Regional Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Peter Flannery.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A pleasure to be here this morning. Can I acknowledge our traditional owners as well? And in their native Gubbi language, I think it's Wanya. It's welcome. So, and I'll pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And thank you only for the welcome to the country this morning. Also, acknowledge the dignitaries here today. I won't go through the list of them. You hear it many times. It's a bit of a mouthful. So, thank you all, you gentlemen, for coming along and sparing your time today. But what a wonderful day to become an Australian citizen. And to celebrate here, we've got another. I can understand Chris is confused. I'll just divert for that moment. But on Thursday this week, we've got another about 150 people becoming Australian citizens. So Chris went there a little bit early. He went there today instead of Thursday. I can understand that confusion, Chris. But it's never been more proud to be an Australian than we are currently at the moment. So with the pandemic we've had, with coronavirus affecting many countries around the world, the great ability for Australia to pull together, to do what we need to do, protect each other, protect ourselves, has given us, I suppose, one of the leading countries in the world, with the ability for us now to move around and get back to a semi-normal lifestyle as we have. So it's very proud to be an Australian. I think many countries around the world are now envious of us and how we're doing. And also particularly in Queensland, the rest of the states in Australia, I think, are very envious of Queensland, and we find that now with the population boom that's happening and people moving up here from the southern states because they know what a beautiful place we have, but we're also very safe. So really proud to be called Moreton Bay region our home. And with the Moreton Bay region, as the Mayor of Moreton Bay region, we have 470,000 people that live in our region. And Stephen said many different cultures, over 100 different cultures are in our region. And we really are lucky, in my view, to have so many cultures and diversity. And to those new Australians, I say, please keep your culture alive, your cuisine and your different views in life. Please keep them alive and bring them to the table and share them with the rest of Australians. That's how we learn and break down the barriers between each other, the differences that we see. We really get to appreciate and be the rich country we are with those multicultural visions, the multicultural cuisine, which I really love, and also the multicultural cultures that you have and traditions. So please keep them alive and share them with us. And on behalf of the Moreton Bay Regional Council, please look in some of our local community groups. We've got some fantastic local community groups throughout our region. If you do feel like volunteering, have a look at our website. There's many groups there you might want to put forward your time to and make this place a richer and better place through your contribution. So thank you very much for being allowing me to be part of your special day today. It'll always go down in your memory as a historic day that you became an Australian, an Aussie, and learned the oi as well. And we all join now with our First Nations people in being one, being Australian people, and a country we can be very proud of. So thank you very much for the privilege of being here today, and have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Councillor Peter Flannery. Ladies and gentlemen, next is very important. We would like the presiding officer to administrate the pledge, also read the preamble. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our presiding officer, the Honorable Lee OAM.
Thanks very much. Just like as well just to thank all the volunteers that came in early this morning, all the ladies and gentlemen up the back. I think they were here from 7:30 a.m. this morning, so that's wonderful. So we now turn to the formal part of this ceremony, which is conducted in accordance with the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. As part of the legal requirements for today's citizenship ceremony, I will read the preamble from Schedule 1 of the Australian Citizenship Regulation 2016. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations. A, by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people. B, by sharing their democratic beliefs. C, by respecting their rights and liberties. And D, by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. Okay, well, we now come to the part where you will make your pledge. So I will now ask those conferees who are making Pledge 1, which is the pledge containing the words "under God," to stand now. If you wish to make the pledge on your holy book, please hold it in your hands now as well. Please repeat this pledge line by line after me out loud. Thank you. From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people. Whose democratic beliefs I share. Whose rights and liberties I respect. And whose laws I will uphold and obey. Well, thank you. I just ask the first group to be seated. That's great. Thank you very much. And I'd now like to ask those conferees who are making Pledge 2 to stand. Okay, please repeat the following after me. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Just remain standing. If I could ask the first group to stand again. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our newest Australian citizens. Congratulations. Well done, everyone, please. Well done, everyone. Please be seated. Congratulations.
Thank you, the Honourable Lee OAM. Now is I'm calling each and every new citizen to come to have the citizenship certificate presented with the citizenship certificate. next one is Anna Howarth. Okay, you cover each and every official. Any? No, not me. Just all the official.
I think better do backwards.
Backwards a little bit. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
so you block the other people's now. So
Okay. Maybe you stay close. Stay
I
close.
think you standing here in the middle and you more.
Okay.
Around.
Listen to the photographer. Okay.
Everyone's on one line.
Yeah. Listen to the photographer.
Okay, thank you.
Emma. Aha. Get ready, please. Emma. Who's Emma? Who's Emma? Oh, the boy. Please. Oh, the boy. The family. Give it to them. There is Jane Michael. Only one. Okay. Apologies. There is Jane Michael Gala Alanika. Next one. Please stay on this side. Thank you. You go to this side, please. Okay. We need volunteers. Where are all the volunteers, please? Volunteers. We need one volunteer to direct the traffic here. Please, quick. Volunteer. Next. Okay. Next is Renu Gopal Achifa. Come on. Okay. Can I have Anna Agala Ayo Akas Prasad? All right there? You don't have to move. Next one is Edna Aha. Come over this side. Can I have Abir Abdul Jabal Maha Al Mahdi ready? Yes, on this side. Doing very well. Okay, come over. Can I have Garima Aurora? Aurora? Yeah. Come over. Yeah. We're doing all right? Okay. Can I have Vinny Aurora? Yeah. Come over this side. Okay, can I have Sonia Shelly Baku? This top. Can I have Sanat Badari? Did very well. Can I have Ray Rita? Can I have Wayne Chang? Karl will send you the photo maybe next few days, hopefully tonight. If not, in the next few days, okay? And the Bessie Batch, with the family, Omar, here Batch. Can I have Varut, Sarah, Varut, Sarah? Can I have Anna and Gordon? Can I see Paul Hay? Jeff Dixon? Can I have Reggie, Zaya Rama? Can I have Ian Patrick Benedict? Can I have Central Ujiba Ravi George? Free the family, Lawson, and Deacon James Lawson, and Tyre Ann Lawson. Free the family, come on. Four in the family, and also Samantha Ann Lawson, there are four in the family. Can I have the rich cow? The rich cow next to thing. Derek, you can cover everybody? Oh, yeah. That is Derek. Tracy A. Miles. You see the certificate signed by the Honorable Luke Howard on the board of you haven't got Luke Howard's signature, then your certificate need to be quite signature. Next is Sam Meza. Queen and family, Isabel, Oba, Kaya, and Mavita Fatima Jahira. Maria Teresa Rose at Viviaco. Sahil Sahara, there are two in the family, there are three. Joseph, Reddy, and Arya. The other is under 16 is still just two. Just one. Okay. Next one, there is Joseph, Reddy, and Arya. Reddy. Thank you very much. Please take a seat. You've done very well. Normally it will take about an hour. We're only getting in what? 15 minutes or 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to congratulate you, each and every new citizen, and happy and a successful future as a citizen of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, now I call upon Councillor Karl Winchester about the Australian Citizenship Certificate. Councillor Winchester, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land which we meet, and also thank Auntie Peggy for her welcome this morning as well. Thanks very much. Recognise our fellow dignitaries here today, and thank Multicultural Queensland for your contribution to our community, and also for your kind invitation for me to attend today as well. Congratulations, everyone, on becoming Australian citizens. What a momentous, personal milestone to have achieved. My own mother went through a very similar ceremony. She was born in the Kingdom of Tonga, a small island of the Pacific Islands as well, and she went through her ceremony on the 20th of July, 1984. I asked her about it yesterday, and within a minute she produced her certificate, which was at 37 years old, and it was in mid-pristine condition, which brings me to my contribution to today's service as to talk about caring for your certificate. Once you've received the Australian Citizenship Certificate, check your certificate carefully. Your official Australian Citizenship Certificate is an important legal document and is your evidence of Australian citizenship. Please ensure that your name and date of birth are correct, and today's date is printed on your certificate in the bottom left-hand corner. Your certificate should be stored flat in a cool, dry location. Please do not damage your certificate by folding it. Damaged certificates will not be accepted by the Australian Passport Office. We also do not recommend framing your certificate, as you will need to quote the ACC number listed on the back of your certificate to apply for an Australian passport. Citizenship certificates should not be laminated. They contain security features, and laminated certificates may not be accepted by the Australian Passport Office. So keep all that in mind. Congratulations once again and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Winchester. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite the member for Bancroft, Chris Whiting, MP. Chris will be conducting the Australian Affirmation Ceremony. Chris, please. Chris is also the chair of the Regional Development and Regional Industry Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Whiting.
Thank you, and welcome and congratulations everyone, and I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand today and the generations of elders, past, present and future. I now have the honour of conducting an affirmation ceremony, which is a short ceremony where all Australians can publicly celebrate being an Australian. The words of the affirmation are based on the Australian Citizenship Pledge made by candidates just a short time before. By participating in an affirmation ceremony, you are expressing your support for the values and principles that underpin Australian citizenship. Everyone is welcome to join us in this affirmation ceremony. Participation is voluntary and has no legal standing, but I'd certainly encourage all Australian citizens to stand up and take part in this. So please stand up and repeat after me, whether you're a new citizen or always been. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you for demonstrating your commitment to Australia.
Thank you, Chris Whiting. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite Mr. Richard Wan, volunteer from the AEC, which is the Australian Electoral Commission, to talk about the AEC method. Richard Wan, please.
Thank you, Luis. So, dear new citizens, you have received a partially complete electoral enrollment form. Please check the details and correct them if necessary. Edit your occupation and postal address, your driver license number, and state and sign. Once the form has been completed, please hand over to me. All Australian citizens need to maintain their electoral details for their current address. Please be advised that new citizens may enroll to vote by completing the electoral enrollment form given to you now. You may go to the following website, www.aec.gov.au for more information about Australian Electoral Commission. Alternatively, you can contact Australian Electoral Commission by phone on 13 23 26 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem. Can I invite Zhang Haichuan to lead the national anthem? And I also changed the performance. Zhang Haichuan is supposed to sing a song before the ceremony. So right after the national anthem, DJ, please play the song for Zhang Haichuan. He will be doing a special performance for us. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Zhang Haichuan that is leading the national anthem.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We'll golden southern wells for our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in majesties, our beauty rich and red. In history's page that every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strength and let us in our advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant southern cross, we'll toil with hands unhand. We'll make this Commonwealth for ours, renowned of all the land. For those who come across the sea, we'll boundless plans to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. Enjoy more strength and let us in advance Australia fair.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat. We have to want to ask Wayne Briscoe to offer a word of thanks to each and every one of you. Wayne Briscoe, please.
Thank you, Lewis. Everyone who knows me knows that I very rarely get emotional, but these are one of the occasions that I do get emotional. So I was getting tears in my eyes, particularly as everyone was taking their oath to become new citizens. Congratulations, it's a wonderful, wonderful step you've made and a fantastic contribution to Australia and to Queensland. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land in which we meet, elders past and present, pay a very special thank you to Auntie Peggy Tideman for the wonderful acknowledgement of country and traditional owners. I've known Peggy for a long time. Her welcome to country and her acknowledgement to country are very special, definitely from the heart. Thank you, Auntie Peggy. Thank you to my friend, maybe not my brother, but my friend Surendra Prasad, OAM, for the acknowledgement of distinguished guests. I'd also like to thank the Honourable Luke Howarth, MP, for delivering the Minister's message and for being the presiding officer. Many thanks to North Lake Community Centre for providing the main hall as the venue, And also special thanks to Karl and his team from Multicultural Queensland for hosting the Harmony Australian Citizenship Ceremony. Many thanks to Lee OAM as the Master of Ceremonies. You will have noted the letters OAM appear a lot on the guest list and on the officials list, and that means these people have made a special contribution to Australia and have been recognised for that. Many thanks to the volunteers for the preparation and for their massive contribution to today. Many thanks to the elected representatives and other VIPs and distinguished guests for your speeches and for your attendance. Needless to say, without the support and involvement of officers from the Commonwealth Department of Home Affairs, this event would not have been possible. A big thank you to the team at the Department of Home Affairs. Thank you to Richard, I imagine, is here. Volunteer for the Australian Electoral Commission for attending the electoral matters for new citizens. Thank you to Haitian Diang for leading the national anthem, which I assume will happen very soon. And thanks to the photographer for doing a fantastic job. Last but not least, a very special thank you to the new citizens and your families and friends for attending the ceremony today. And once again, a sincere congratulations to all.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne Driscoll, who is the Executive Director of the Department of Children and Youth Justice and Multicultural Affairs. I haven't finished yet because just now I changed the program a little bit. Zhang Haichuan is supposed to sing a song before the 10:30, but it was running late, so we started Citizenship sharp at 10:30. Now we have a special performance from Haichuan Jiang. What are you going to sing? You see you raised me now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jiang.
Thank you, Louis, and it's great here. Great to be here to enjoy this ceremony with all of you here. When I am done and though my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, and I am still wait here in the silence until you come and sit along with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong and I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong and I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up to walk more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand the mountains. You raise me up to walk through stormy seas. I'm strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Thank you very much. That is young action. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. I want to offer a vote of thanks again to each and every one of you for your attendance today.